So if there's one term that's reverberated throughout AR and VR circles more than any other in 2021, it's clearly Metaverse. And though it has become sort of co-opted and conflated and clouded through overuse, it does represent some legitimate principles that are worth examining. And this is the topic of the latest Artillery Intelligence report. So first off, it's too early to define the metaverse in certain terms because it will be a moving target as it gradually actualizes and grows into its own skin. But we can still conceptualize it as a thought exercise. And in that sense, the metaverse could basically have two tracks. One involves purely synthetic and immersive worlds, partly accessed through VR and other devices, and the second track involves digital twins of the physical world unlocked through AR. So starting with that first track, this involves digital domains that host time-synchronous interactions among place-shifted participants. So Mark Zuckerberg describes it as an embodied internet, offering the connectivity and utility and entertainment of the web, but fleshed out in 3D. And this is usually discussed in VR terms, with today's exemplars being Altspace VR and Rec Room and VR Chat, but we also have non-VR 3D worlds like Fortnite and Roblox and even Second Life. So even though there's lots of heated debate, there's some agreement about what the metaverse should and shouldn't be. So for example, it should be interoperable in that users can transport from place to place with consistent identities or assets. It should also be open and not owned or operated by one entity. So many of these metaverse qualifiers and targets have an answer that's sort of staring us right in the face, which is the web. So it could be the logical foundation and model for the metaverse. And that's because it offers a balance between proprietary business interest and incentive, but also common standards of interoperability. So the web has the browser and protocols like HTTPS and languages like HTML. And for all these reasons, the metaverse could really stem from or build on today's web rather than come along and replace it. As for that second metaverse track, that which synchronizes with the physical world, the thinking follows an existing construct, which is the AR cloud. So this is all about data and digital twins that are geo-anchored to places and things and enable AR devices to evoke the right graphics at the right time. And companies like Niantic are building experiences and platforms even to create those real-world interactions. And then there's Google, which is working to annotate and index the physical world, just like it created massive value indexing the web 20 years ago. And we call this the Internet of Places. Now, speaking of Google, the metaverse will also need a sort of filtration system that governs the relevance for the 3D content that you're sort of served throughout the day. And a related question is, what will be the search engine of the physical world metaverse? So that just scratches the surface, and you can read more in the full report, but in closing we'll reiterate that a fully actualized metaverse could be decades away, and its use cases are still unknown. It's like trying to conceptualize the iPhone in 1985, or consider Uber. No one thought of Uber when the iPhone first launched. It took a few years of living with the new form factor for native thinking to really seep into the developer mindset, and the same goes for Foursquare and Spotify and Snapchat and several other smartphone native innovations. So the metaverse will be the same, but there will also be notable milestones along the way. Or as our friend Amy Peck tells us, the metaverse will be as much about the journey as the destination.